Hello and welcome to an all-new DC Cast, Explosion Network's hub for discussing all things DC Comics related. Let's talk about everything happening in Metropolis, Gotham, and beyond. I'm your host, Hobley. Joining me today is Dylan Blight.
I'm here to sell crypto.
No, not the dog. All the cryptocurrency. Both are bad.
I was watching this movie just going, if this was made today, this dude would be on crypto.
Oh, he would be so rich.
Yeah.
Sell me all Bitcoin. Or like set Ethereum to 1 cent. Yes, today we are talking about Superman 3. My first time watching it. So excited to share my thoughts. But Dylan, question without notice. Would you rather be Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I just rather be a sad boy than a one's like the emo at school, and then the other one's the jock. So, you know.
I don't know if I called Superman a jock.
Come on, look at him. He's an all-American boy.
No, I'd definitely be Superman. Invulnerable, fly, superpowers.
Yeah, it's too much.
Don't get beat up every night. Get to
much. Batman doesn't get beat up every night. What are you talking about?
Most not.
I was going to say one has his parents and one doesn't, but I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't have parents either, really. Like,
I mean, he's already lost one set of parents.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Weird. All right, let's... With that discussed and answered, let's get into this week's spoilercast. So please be aware we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about plot themes in any of the movies. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. With that said, let's jump into discussing Superman 3.
This time, Richard Pryor has come to Metropolis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he's got something to sell. He's the best con man and the world's greatest computer genius.
Let me tell you something. I can't ski!
But then he falls for a scheme to turn the ultimate computer into the ultimate weapon.
Well, what will it do for me?
It will do anything you tell me to tell it to do.
A machine so powerful,
Baby! It's Daddy!
it can control the Earth.
Now, getting down to business.
Change the weather.
You know something? You're a genius.
And reprogram Superman.
Thought you'd never get here.
Well, I hope you don't expect me to save you, because I don't do that anymore.
First release, June 17th, 1983. Directed by Richard Lester. Screenplay by David Newman and Leslie Newman. Starring Christopher Reeve, Richard Pryor, Jackie Cooper, Marc McClure, Annette O'Toole, Annie Ross, Pamela Stephenson, Robert Vaughn, and Margot Kidder. Computer programmer Gus Gorman is hired by financial tycoon Ross Webster to seize control of a weather satellite and annihilate Columbia's coffee crop. When Superman manages to thwart the plan, Webster commands Gorman to use the satellite to locate kryptonite, the Man of Steel's mortal weakness. But a missing unknown element in the kryptonite, replaced by Gorman with tar, causes an unintended side effect when presented to Superman. Dylan, what are your thoughts on Superman 3?
It ain't good and it's 2 hours long. My God! So long. The only good part of this movie is Annette O'Toole.
Big Lana Lang fan.
Or
do you think it's good now, or did you think it was good prior to Smallville?
I have no idea what I would have thought when I watched this for the first time. I remember I didn't like it, so I've never liked it. Didn't like it when I was a kid and I watched it. I don't think it's good now. So I don't know, like she's giving it, she's bringing some personality to it. Like she's bringing something, you know, like she's bringing something that I'm like, and you could be like, yeah, but Richard Pryor. I'm like, yeah, no, Richard Pryor annoys me. It's like just too over the top. Like, just his character annoys the shit out of me, to be honest. Yeah, so I think Lino just brings some personality that's needed for the film. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty boring. It goes forever. Then yeah, it's about a dude hacking. I don't even attempt to break down the movie. It's bad. The fight scene between the two of them is atrocious.
Between which two?
Superman and Clark Kent.
Okay, yes. Yeah, this was rough to watch. And yes, just kind of tonally all over the place. It feels like someone really wanted Rich Pryor in this movie, and then they wrote a movie around the fact that Richard Pryor's in this movie. And this Richard Pryor would be good if this was any other movie. If this was a movie about a guy who just happens to be really good with computers and starts working for a bad guy and then slowly comes to the realization that this is a bad guy and I shouldn't be helping him, that would be a cool movie. That's not what I want from Superman. But I think there are elements that are interesting, that could have been interesting, but are not.
The original pitch was Brainiac.
And
I think you can see
the thought process of
that. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, it's odd that Lois is like, Margot Kid is like written out of the script.
Well, do you know why that apparently is? That's apparently because of how shitty she got about Donna being fired from the last one, how much trouble she caused. That for this movie they said, we're not putting you in it. We're just going to put you in it. We're going to pay you for one day, come film your scene in and out, and that's it. Replacing you. That's the story anyway.
Interesting,
but adds up.
Yeah.
Also, Richard Lester. Here's a movie that he's directed 100% by himself. Oh yeah, Superman 2. Definitely all him.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with like him picking up the scraps and having to work within the confines of what had already been done and whatever else. Here's a full Richard Lester Superman movie. Here's what you get. All those little comedic moments that he brought into Superman 2. Imagine that for 2 hours. Here's what you get.
I mean, is it him or is it the screenwriters?
It's him.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Okay. Let's run through the plot so we can stop talking about this movie.
Good plan.
All right. The conglomerate, reading from Wikipedia, the conglomerate Websco Industries hires computer programmer Gus Gorman, who secretly embezzles $85,000 from the company payroll. Skipping over a lot, I will say, as usual. The way they depict Gus being good at computers may have worked in 1983 when nobody had a computer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, he can write commands.
If you're smart enough to say, hey, computer, can you please do this question mark? Like, he's writing like it's for ChatGPT. Like, yeah.
Foreseeing the future, maybe.
Yeah.
But this movie opens. This movie opens with an extended slapstick sequence.
Yep. Goes forever.
It goes forever. And Superman's just letting it all happen. Blind guy who loses his dog, just let him run around.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Everybody's getting hit with paint and getting in accidents, falling over. It's not until someone is drowning in a car, which I don't know if that's possible. Like a fire hydrant, like filling up your car.
I don't know. I saw the directors of Talk to Me drive around in a car like that once.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
Okay. On the Raka Raka?
On Raka Raka. Yeah, check it out.
But yeah, just ridiculous, unnecessary.
Explain why the opening of this movie is this. Like, I want you to attempt to get in the brain of Richard Lester and be like, here's how I'm going to open the movie. Because it sets up the tone for the movie. So I'm going to do this. Because
he is like trying to sell Richard Pryor. It's like, this is a comedy. It's this is right for you.
Really
Spider-Man
is, 'cause
3, Superman 3 comedy.
Superman 1 just really builds the orchestral score with the credits after the prologue, and it's basically like you're traveling through space with Clark at that point, I guess. Kal-El aboard the pod and stuff like that, and you get the really long credits, but like very orchestral, cinematic. Superman 2, we get the previously on thing, which I said I skipped, but that was only because I just watched it. I don't think it's bad to have that. I think it works. It's just for time's sake, I skipped it this past rewatch. But yeah, this I have no idea what the.
Yeah. And then Gus has gone to get his unemployment check, and because he has been unemployed for 36 weeks, he's not allowed to get it anymore.
Down the fucking Centrelink, mate.
I mean, it is very American. I'm surprised he got 36 weeks, to be perfectly honest. Like, and then he just sees a matchbook that says, "You can be a computer programmer."
He goes, "You know what? I can be a computer programmer. You're right."
And apparently, he's really, really good at it. Oh, crazy. Gus comes to the attention of Webco's CEO, Ross Webster, a cunning billionaire fixated on using technology for financial domination. Webster sees Gus's skills as a valuable asset. With the help of his stern sister Vera and his mistress Lorelei Ambrosia, he blackmails Gus into aiding his schemes. Yep, 3 very boring characters and Richard Pryor.
Yep.
Superman extinguishes a fire in the chemical plant, and as Clark Kent, he returns to Smallville for his high school reunion. Obviously, we're skipping over the start of the Daily Planet, where he pitches the story of going to his high school reunion for the newspaper, the daily newspaper.
Yep. It's gonna be a story about small town boy, big city vibes.
Yes, and Lois is going on vacation to Bermuda. Because remember, she doesn't remember that Clark Kent is Superman and they're in love. No. She's going to Bermuda and she's got a very tiny bikini she's going to be wearing.
She won tickets.
Yes. Speaking of tickets, there's also this running gag of a lottery happening at the Daily Planet for tickets to
just so they can have a gag about computers at the end of the movie, I think.
Yeah, probably. Clark reconnects with his childhood friend Lana Lang, who has a young son named Ricky. Superman later saves Ricky from a combine harvester accident during a picnic with Lana.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I think most of this Lana stuff works, and like you can tell there's some sort of chemistry between Clark and Lana.
The way Clark drops talking to that old lady to go talk to her.
Yeah. And she's also got that weird, like, Clark-like
they do
energy.
the most, like, she does, yeah, she's got a bit of manic energy. The way she does hands the plates to the DJ and then
serve the records,
serves food on the records,
yeah, they're a good fit. I think
they should put her in some other Superman thing.
Yeah, maybe. We also get introduced to Brad.
Yep.
Who's the worst?
He says, "Lana, I'm the only guy left in this town that's gonna fuck ya. So why don't you just take me?"
Yes, that's what wins over all women.
Yeah.
Webster orders Gus to use the weather satellite Vulcan to create a storm that destroys coffee crops in Colombia, aiming to corner the market. Because that's how weather satellites work.
When you say parts of this movie out loud, it's funnier than when you're watching it. Yeah.
Yes, because weather satellites have giant laser beams on them. They can cause tornadoes.
Freaking laser beams attached to them, man. Some real Dr. Evil stuff happening here.
Yes. I do enjoy Richard Pryor, like, tricking Brad into getting in, letting him get in. And weirdly, the only way to turn this weather satellite computer on is to put 2 floppy disks in at the same time. Exact same time.
Mission Impossible.
Should have been. Freaking hell. Gus complies, but Superman neutralizes the storm, but not before the two people who won the Daily Planet prize to Columbia get crushed by falling debris in a church during a wedding. But yes, somehow Superman manages to dry everything in Columbia.
Yep, easy.
Easy. Recognizing Superman as a threat, Webster orders Gus to synthesize kryptonite. Lana invites Superman to Ricky's birthday party. Gus and Vera infiltrate the party and give Superman the synthetic kryptonite, which corrupts him and causes him to commit acts of vandalism, such as straightening the Leaning Tower of Pisa and blowing out the Olympic flame.
I'll say it is dumb, this whole sequence, but it is quite funny. It's just the dude playing the street vendor, maybe the MVP of the movie.
Oh, Superman.
Damn, you Superman! And just the idea of Superman's like, his whole bad side is, you know what
I'm just gonna
fuck with people. And I'm just gonna hang out up here, watch the Olympic Games, and then eat shit! I'm such a bad man!
I mean, it's funny because of the setup. Athletes have been transferring it for 900,000 miles across the world to bring it right here so it can be lit up to start the Olympics blown out. Yeah. I mean, I think Christopher Reeves is kind of having a bit of fun. This is awful.
Yeah, I think he's having fun across these couple scenes.
This is awful Superman. Trying to hit up people. But not going.
That's it. When they do the same thing in, remember in Smallville, then Tom Welling's like, I wear sunglasses now. Like, so it's a random thing.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Oh, and the friggin' Richard Pryor scene of like giving him the kryptonite, ridiculous, over the top, pretending to be this army person. Ridiculous speech, and then the fact that it doesn't react straight away. Like, what?
I mean, there's a wooden box. He would have felt its effects
pretty
earlier anyway, yeah.
I will say one thing I didn't notice until like much later was his suit darkening.
Yeah, because it's like grey by the end of it.
Yeah, so yeah.
Also, I like the plan there. Like, we're going to give him kryptonite, which wouldn't have killed him anyway. And then even if they'd like dropped the stone, he would have been like, oh, someone would just walked up and taken the stone away from him.
Yes.
Like, what is the play here?
It's not like they had like a sniper like set up.
Yeah.
So once he's weak,
they're just like, we'll give him kryptonite, he'll die. No, he would have been like,
that's not how it works.
And then Lana or someone would have rang up and been like, I think it's this stone. Wee! Like.
I think we also skipped over one of the most ridiculous scenes of the film, which apparently this Webster guy has a ski resort on top of a skyscraper.
Oh yeah. I think that's after. No, that's about now. That's after he fails to kill Superman, and then he goes there to meet up with him, and he's like,
"That's right.
I only gave you one simple mission to kill Superman, and you couldn't even do that."
Yeah, useless. And old Richard Pryor decides to go up the top of the hill with skis on, despite knowing how to ski.
Yeah. Well, if you can computer code, you can ski. You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then proceeds to ski off the side of the skyscraper and survive.
Downside of the building, that's why.
Through physics.
So he doesn't fall.
He's just keeps skiing.
He lands and skis down the side of the tower,
Ridiculous. Gus proposes building a supercomputer for Webster in exchange for creating an energy crisis by redirecting oil tankers. Lorelei seduces Superman and manipulates him into causing an oil spill. Superman suffers a nervous breakdown and splits into two beings, the corrupted Superman and Clark Kent. Again, skipping over a whole bunch of stuff here. The idea that
Superman also has sex with a lady on top of the bridge or something.
What?
Superman also has sex with the
on top of the Statue of
Liberty. Yeah, on top of the Statue of Liberty before he goes and blows up the tanker or whatever.
The idea that all these tankers are being they've all got captains who are like just following these orders and
They
sitting
only
in the
follow
middle of the
orders.
building.
Yeah. They're all lined up next to each other in the middle of the ocean going, "What are you doing here? We just got told to hang around." "Yeah, me too. I guess we'll just wait here." "Yeah."
Except for this one who's like,
"Yeah. Nah, I've got free will. I ain't a robot."
I already got told where I'm going, Metropolis.
Yeah.
I do like the scene of him in the bar, which I'd seen the GIF before. I didn't know where it was from.
Yeah.
Now I know.
No.
Of Superman heavily drinking in the middle of the day, even though we all know alcohol doesn't have any effect on him.
Doesn't affect him. Yep.
And just him just pelting nuts.
Yep. Just flicking them nuts.
Licking them nuts.
In the only way Superman can.
Fast.
Yes.
And old little Ricky telling him he's in a slump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't you, Superman. You're just in a slump.
Yeah, but slump makes you be a dick. That's how it works. But yes, we get Superman and Clark Kent fighting each other.
Goes for so long.
It does go for so long. I liked elements of it.
They could definitely, you can tell.
It definitely could have been way shorter.
They were enjoying the technology and the idea of having the same actor fight one another more than the.
And, you know, someone's like, I want to do as much wire work as possible.
Yeah.
We got a discount. It turns out it doesn't matter how much wire work we do. It's just that we got them out here. So we'll do as much as we possibly can before the sun goes down. That's what happened.
And they did.
They just got flung all over the place. But yes, Clark Kent ends up strangling corrupted Superman.
Yep, and that's how he wins.
You know?
Yep.
Because that's how you win. You need to kill the bad side.
Yep.
Yes. The two fight and Clark defeats the corrupted Superman. Superman then repairs the damage of the oil spill by blowing it. He blew that oil back in.
Yep.
Okay.
And most importantly, pushes the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Oh no, not to the end of the movie.
Oh, that's at the end of the movie, right? It's the best part.
After surviving exploding rockets and a missile, he confronts Webster, Vera, and Lorelei in the Ultimate computer, which apparently is built in the middle, at the bottom of like a ravine.
Yep.
By somebody.
Yeah.
Who I assume did not get there in the same way they did. By a balloon.
Yeah.
Up and down surely there was a road.
No, there's no road. Oh, there is a road. That's why what's his face takes the horse or whatever.
I know. Seems like you'd have to get a lot of contractors down there, and they would have had to have come from somewhere. Get all that material in there? Absolutely.
They definitely killed them all.
Yeah, probably. The computer comes self-aware and defends itself against attempts to disable it as it transforms Vera into a cyborg. Vera attacks Webster and Lorelei with energy beams that immobilize them. Superman retrieves acid from the chemical plant, destroying the Ultimate computer.
Yep.
Yeah, because remember the chemical plant? The one that Superman saved at the start of the movie?
Yep.
That's a thing. Because it totally wasn't burnt down. That was right. Richard Pryor was really excited about the fact that they still had high quality plastics. That was his big army speech. Wouldn't it be terrible if the president's pen started leaking while I was talking to other world leaders?
I don't know if it's. I felt like the end of this movie also went forever. This like the amount of times like just them backwards and forwards hitting with that ray gun and.
I tell you what I liked. I liked them trying to shoot him down with missiles, and it was the game. I'm sure that would have been a fun game to play in the 80s.
Yep.
And yes, them what they do like a bunch of different things to try and defeat Superman, like trap him inside a ball.
Yep.
And kryptonite laser. What?
Yep.
But yeah, acid. It didn't even throw it on anything. It was just sitting in the jar, right? From memory.
Yep.
I know it's been one day of it since I watched it. You just touched it.
Yep.
Rough. All right. Gus starts anew in West Virginia after Superman drops him in the middle of a mining site. He's like, hey, this guy's really smart and good with computers. I bet your foreman could give him a job. He's like, no. I'll take my chances elsewhere. Also, I've been highly paid this entire time, probably, so I don't really need to work anymore. I can just go to another business and embezzle some more, probably. His whole embezzlement thing was like, what? The tax, like all the half cents of pay that are cut, like divided in tax, are just nebulous. Nowhere. Bits of money.
Also, I was really confused because I'm like, in America, they don't. I thought they didn't take the tax.
I thought you paid for it at the end.
Pay. Yeah, confused.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Clark visits Lana in Metropolis, where she begins working as a secretary for Perry White. Lois Lane returns from Bermuda with an expose on corruption, and then Superman restores the Leaning Tower of Pisa before flying into space.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Also, we have Clark giving Lana a diamond ring because apparently she lost hers. She sold hers to get to Metropolis. Was that?
Pawned it. Yeah, they pawned it at a shop. Yeah, I can't remember something. Yeah.
And of course, that's when old Brad walks in, takes a swing at Clark, and of course, in classic fashion,
they do some
slapstick comedy and nearly dies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lois is jealous of Lana in the story, and then she shows up with the diamond ring that Clark gave her. Sure hope this love triangle is followed up in the next movie.
It definitely is not.
Dylan, what's the most super moment of Superman 3?
I'm actually going to go with the chemical plant thing scene. Because it's the only time in the movie that Superman's doing Superman stuff. And I also find that shot of him carrying the frozen water very funny. It's like someone did that in Microsoft Paint and did it one frame at a time.
Yep. I'm struggling. And normally I'm the one who's like optimistic on these things, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, maybe the start of the corrupted Superman versus Clark fight. At the very start. When they can't finally get their feelings out about each other, you know? You've been holding me back. You're bad. You know?
You're bad to the bone, man.
It's rough.
This whole movie's rough.
Yeah. Anything else you want to discuss about Superman 3?
No.
Fair.
Expect a similar response next week.
All right. Yeah, let us know what you thought of Superman 3 by finding us on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com or find us on other social media at ExplosionPod. If you want to help us out here at All New DC Cast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, leave us 5 stars, you can leave 5 stars, or just help about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, thought it's worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/supports. Thank you very much for listening. Next week, yes, we will be discussing Superman 4 Quest for Peace. Join us next time for another all new DC cast.